Hi, ever wonder what it's like to work another profession or live in the underworld? Listen to unsuspecting riders give a 10 to 15 minute personal masterclass as I spontaneously interview them as they enter my taxi. I'm your host, Simon Rushton, and this is Taxi Chronicles. Morning. Yes, we're back with another rider, another episode. Today we've got an interesting one. We've got a nice couple, and I'll let them introduce themselves. But we got a lady who's out of the couple who's written a book. And ladies, it's about dating, so listen hard from a woman's point of view. And we'll just take it from there. So nice to have you here today.
Nice to meet you. Nice to be here, Simon.
So what made you want to write a book about dating?
So it was a few years ago, and I was using the dating apps, and I was just finding that everything was incredibly superficial, and that dating apps can be dangerous in so many ways, in terms of like meeting weird people or dangerous people. And I think that at least in London, you find that a lot of women will give away their details way too soon. Like personal information, like number, address, where they work. And I thought it might be interesting to sort of use a little bit of humor and tell the story of one girl using the dating apps and what happens.
Okay. That's interesting. So you spoke about danger.
Yeah.
I've had this debate with quite a few people, and I say the danger depends on the person's naivety.
Exactly.
And also how they structure things, because we have modern technology today, so you can video call.
Yeah.
And you can video call at, let's say, 8 o'clock, which is prime time. So you can see, and on that video call, maybe an ex-military, you do a recce. You can see, is there a room messy? Can you hear kids in the background? Is there a wife in the kitchen? All these kind of things to...
Definitely.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But there's a lot of people happy to meet people just off the cuff.
Yeah, exactly. But even I would have to also argue that even if you do a video call, which I guess in 2020 that's what a lot of people were doing, before then I don't think it was that popular to do the video call first. Okay. I think more the trend was to check their social media, which doesn't tell you much at all, especially if it's private, etc.
Okay, yeah.
And also, yeah, sure, there's the whole, are they cheating, are they liars? But what about, psychos that are out there, or people that are mentally disturbed, or are seeking something that's not in your best intentions? But then it's also, I think the book touches more on the superficial element. So how, I wrote like articles on it as well about how people just expect that you meet on a dating app, you start sleeping together, and then after a couple months you're in a relationship, whereas I don't think, in my opinion, that's not how you build a relationship. Just because you know each other's bodies doesn't mean that you're made for each other or compatible in any way.
Okay. So do you recommend in the book how a relationship is formed?
I tell the story of a girl and her naivety.
Okay, so you just tell the point from a warning point of view.
Exactly.
More than, what you should do.
Exactly. So essentially what you shouldn't do.
So you take it, so anybody who reads your book will take it, take the warnings and make the best of their situation.
Exactly.
Okay, what's the name of your book?
Canned tuna.
Sorry?
Canned tuna.
Canned tuna.
Yeah, that's usually the reaction I get.
Okay. Why canned tuna?
So that's, I never give the meaning of the title away. It's something that you're going to have to read and find out, Simon.
Okay. It's your publicity. I don't mind.
Like half the reason behind it is to make you question, why would a dating app, like a dating book, be titled Canned Tuna of all things? There is a meaning behind it, a huge meaning, but you have to read the story to find out.
Okay. Well, you get big pieces of chunks of joy.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. Exactly.
Sealed in a packet, but that kind of thing. Yeah. I hear you. So is this the only book you've written, or you've written other books?
There's also another book, Adriana Exists, which is the female perspective of working in the UK music business.
Okay.
So I did a few years working in music a few years ago, even a decade ago, to be honest. And I thought I could sort of tell, through my experiences, I could sort of give a perspective of what it's like to be in a, 98% male-dominated industry.
Okay.
And just show the behind the scenes.
Is there any positive things about it?
Yes, but I tried more to focus on the negatives because I don't think enough people talk about it from the female perspective.
Okay. Is the music industry, you say it's male dominated, are you talking the artists, or are you talking the...
Behind the scenes. Behind the scenes.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, so like, interning or working at record labels, that sort of thing, and how it's more male dominated, and what sort of impact that can have on a young girl.
I suppose it's an industry obviously opposite to the medical industry and teaching, but it's an industry that demands a lot of time.
It demands a lot of time, and in the
sociable hours.
Exactly.
So if you're a woman, you probably are, and a mum and a wife, you probably aren't able to give all that time.
Exactly, but even when you're a young girl and you're just starting out, you spend a lot of your time interning, and you go from internship to internship. Okay. And it just comes to a point where no one's paying you because they know that they can get away with not paying you for as long as they do, because it's the music business and everyone wants to work in it, and it's extremely competitive, etc., etc.
Is that gender based or just general?
You see, at least in my experience, you saw a lot of, there were so many variables, but you'd see sort of, you'd see males favoured a lot more, or taken more seriously when it came to talking about music or guitars or rock music, because, you're a girl, what do you know about rock sort of perspective, which is not talked about often enough, so I thought I'd write a story where you could see all these things happening.
Okay, that's good. So where can people find your book?
It's on Amazon. Both of them are on Amazon.
And it's Canned Tuna.
Yes, Adriana Exists.
Adriana Exists. Okay, that's good. Do you have a website or social media anyone can follow you on? Do you want to shout that out? Sure.
So it's lisasawriting.com.
Do you want to spell that out?
Sure. LISA SAWRITING.com.
And the last question we ask all our guests is, what's the impact you want to have on the world? And this goes out to both of you.
I want to make the female perspective more of a thing within storytelling in general. I think we don't have enough of the female perspective. So whether it's dating, whether it's the music business, I want more female voices to have their voice heard. Okay.
And the husband?
Well, for me it's more like in general, like as a life goal, it's good to make people aware of what's going on around the world, and maybe get involved in social like services, politics, and so find the right news, so read about everything what's going on, so in order to be aware and make the right decision every time.
Okay. Well, thanks for that. It was a great interview.
Thank you, Simon.
And the other book. We hope you liked that interview. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to get the latest daily episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economy and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources? Then listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you will hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m.